Gameplay Storytime with Max Monster.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Civilization Storytime. As always, I am your host, Max Monster, and today I'm going to be telling you all a story about something that is very near and dear to my heart. Maybe not all of you will relate to it because not everybody does this, and I totally respect that. I totally understand that, whatever your preference is about this particular topic. I do not judge one way or another. So, hey, it's your life to live. You live it to the fullest. But here I'm going to talk to you about the first time I partook in a substance that is legal in most but not all states in the United States here, and the overall just experience as a whole. And let's dive on into it here. So, when I was about 16 years old, I was over at my buddy's house. We will refer to my two friends in this story as J and T, respectively. We were all over there at Jay's house, having just a grand old time, sitting around a campfire, on a picnic table, just shooting the shit, crushing some brews, all things that you do as a 16-year-old living in rural America. Now, Jay's dad was kind of more of a laid back type of parent. He really he really didn't care if we smoked or drank or really anything, as long as we weren't being reckless and dangerous. We weren't going out driving afterwards, which we didn't. We were good boys. We just partook in particular things that we're not quite of age of. But anyways, so we're sitting there, we're chilling, crushing some brews. Like I said, we're got a few deep at this point, and everyone's got a pretty good buzz on. Well, Jay disappears inside. Me and T are just chilling, hanging out. And about 5 minutes later, Jay comes back out of the house here, and he has got a weird just combination of items here that at the time I had not a clue what they were for. So he comes out and he's got an empty 2 liter bottle of soda. He has got a socket, like for a socket wrench, and he also has a trash can that is about 3/4 of the way filled with water. At the time, like I said, I have no idea what this is for. I just kind of give him a confused look, and he immediately takes out a knife, sits at the picnic table, and cuts the bottom off of this 2 liter here and punches a hole in the top of the cap. And I'm just like, dude, what are you making? What's going on? And T starts laughing, and he's just like, "Oh, dude," he's like, "I forgot you have never done this before." And I'm like, "What's that?" And Jay looks and he goes, "Grav bong, man." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Now, like I said, I was relatively inexperienced in this particular area of my life at this point. I had plenty of family members and friends who partook in the substance. I just hadn't yet. I wasn't quite ready to yet. There wasn't a ton of opportunity to either, but I just personally wasn't quite ready yet. But this night I was like feeling a little more adventurous. I was with some guys I really liked. I was feeling safe, so it was a good time to get it going. But we'll get to that point. At first, I was watching and I see him assemble this thing, and Jay pulls out this bag of green, and he starts packing it up into this makeshift bong here, and he goes and he lights it, and I'm just kind of watching as he pulls up and the smoke fills this 2 liter container, and he sucks it all down without a problem, coughs a little bit. And then T does the exact same thing, and I see him do it. And same thing. These guys have been doing it for a while at this point. They're acting as you normally a seasoned smoker would. And so they're like, "Hey man, you want some? You want some?" And I've already got a buzz on at this point. So I'm like, nah. I'm like, I'm good for now. But I'll let you know. But I keep watching them, and about like another half hour goes by, and they're feeling themselves. They're feeling good. And I'm like, man, maybe it is time I give this a try. Why not? I'm not going anywhere. I'm in a safe place. Screw it. Why not? So I look at Jay and I'm like, "Hey man, like, you mind if I try something?" He's like, "Oh, of course, yeah, no problem. Let me pack it up for you." So he does. He packs it on up there, and mind you, like I said, I've never smoked anything at this point. no cigars, no cigarettes, no tobacco whatsoever. I never had done the substance before, and so I was very virgin lunged, and that became very evident very quickly when I watch and the smoke fills up this 2 liter, and he about to take the cap off, and he's like, "All right, you just kind of push down and you inhale deeply at the same time until all the smoke is gone." I'm like, "All right, sure, why not? Sounds great." Uh, and so I unscrew the cap and I inhale for maybe a half a second at the time, at the best. Bunch of smoke goes billowing out around my face. I'm choking to death, coughing my lungs out, and it just hurts. Like honestly, it just freaking hurts. And the guys are like, "Oh, you let the smoke out! You let the smoke out!" And I'm like, I don't care right now. I feel like I'm dying. My chest just hurts so bad. Um, and I'm sitting there and like I'm expecting somebody new to this would the effect to be immediate, and it's not. It's I don't really feel much of anything, honestly, other than just pain in my chest. I'm like, what is the draw to this? I do not understand what the draw to this is. Um, and so I'm just sitting there and I'm like, guys, I'm really not feeling anything. And they're like, oh, you just, you kind of took a lousy first hit. Try again, try again. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Why not? We'll do it again. We'll go one more time, just once more, just to make sure. And once again, they fill it up. They don't fill it up quite as intensely this time. The first round, they said I had what was called a hurricane because the smoke was literally billowing and there was an eye of the storm in the middle of this 2 liter bottle. It actually looks pretty cool. Uh, but with that said, uh, I'm watching as it fills up again, and I go and I take another rip. I do a little bit better this time, not much. I get maybe 1.5, 2 seconds this time for the inhale, and I choke to death again. Still a bunch of smoke goes billowing out because I'm still really new to this, and honestly, I just like feel like the worst sunburn on my lungs is exactly what this feels like to me. And I just don't get it. Like, I just don't feel anything except for like a slight buzzing feeling in my teeth and my lungs just burning horribly. I'm sitting there, I'm clutching my chest, and it's like I said, it felt like a sunburn, but inside your body. Just awful, awful sensation. And like I'm just sitting there and they're like, "Oh man, like how do you feel now?" And I'm like, "It still kind of sucks, guys. Like still kind of sucks." Uh, and they're like, "Oh well, maybe just maybe it's not your thing, whatever." And they go back. They're pretty blazed, so they're just chilling. And honestly, for the next, I'm not even joking, probably 2 hours, I just sit there and just stare at the fire, clutching my chest, and looking back on it, I was definitely lit as hell. Like there is no mistaking. At this point in my life, I have a very seasoned smoker now. Uh, I was definitely lit, and that fire was the only thing keeping me nice and chill and calm. I don't even remember if the boys talked to me about anything that night. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Honestly, I could not tell you if there was actually any conversation that happened. Do not remember whatsoever. And all I know is I fell asleep at that picnic table that night. I don't know what time I fell asleep. I woke up and it was still dark outside. And I just was a while before I tried it again. And then the next time was much more pleasant. I didn't, my lungs didn't hurt as bad. It wasn't as bad of a burn. I actually kind of was familiar with the sensation a little bit now, so I knew what to expect. And the second time was way more enjoyable than the first time. That being said, I want to reiterate that J and T were awesome throughout this experience. They did not pressure me at all. They are great buddies of mine, even to this day. And I really thank them for having a safe space for me to experiment with that. And that's kind of what I want to end this episode with, is just sharing all with you that if you are going to do something that you maybe feel a little uncomfortable about, um, don't let anybody pressure you into feeling like you have to do something you don't want to, especially yourself. We get caught up sometimes, especially peer pressure is a very real thing. I want to finish by saying that it's very, very real. Do not let yourself get into that trap. You are your own person. At the end of the day, it is only you that is going to be responsible for your actions that you take. And especially when it comes to things, like I said, that you may not be super comfortable with or very unsure about, just be smart, take your time, only do things when you're ready. Do not care what anybody else thinks about you when it comes to that. And I later learned that I do very much enjoy partaking in the substance. Still do. Still prefer it way more than drinking to this day. I am currently residing in a state where it is totally legal. So it is great that I have the ability to do it and do it safely. But I will end the episode with that, guys. So I hope if you had your first experiences with this particular substance that I am talking about, please do share. If you are under the age of 21, please do not follow my example. Do not do this. Wait until you are of age to do this, because trust me, it is not worth legal repercussions if you get caught doing something you're not supposed to. And there are theoretical health issues to doing things below a certain age. So please, if you are underage, do not partake in this activity until later on in life, when you are comfortable with it, when you are in a safe place, and most of all, if you want to. And that is all I've got for you today, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. I really appreciate you, as always. Please, if you like the video, give a like, give a subscribe if you haven't yet. Leave a comment. Love to chat with you guys. Haven't gotten too many comments yet, so I'd love to get a conversation started. Love to just hear your thoughts. And until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in, and have a good one. See ya.